see here?
Yeah. Well, thanks so much for that presentation. This work is incredibly important in adding to the evidence base of our profession, and just a little snippet you showed us about how it can be, or how you're beginning to apply it in practice, is really important. So thanks very much for the presentation. The next speaker is Nian, and she's talking about community participation in rural revitalisation and showing that through a case study. So again, this is really one of the key themes that we've been talking about in landscape architecture. So thanks so much. Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm the double graduate student from both Beijing Forestry University and the Chiba University in Japan. And today I want to introduce about the community participation in the rural revitalization. Take the Sept Inland Sea as an example. So at first, do you know what is the biggest problem that Japanese people are faced now? Actually, it's the rural flight. Because on the one hand, Japan's population is declining, and also on the other hand, the people leaving the rural area for cities. And this picture is the Kagawa prefecture in the Sept Inland region. And we can see there is a counter example, is the Norshima Island. Only in the Norshima Island, a small group of people leaving the cities for this island. So how did it realize this, and what attract people from city to this island? I think we should start from the history of Sept Inland Sea. The Sept Inland Sea used to be the most beautiful fishing area and scenic spots in the history. However, after the World War II, it was changed into the core distribution area of Japan's heavy industry. And at that stage, it is home to a quarter of Japan's population. This kind of industry cluster, of course, bring a huge economic benefits, but also at the same time cause serious problems. For example, the environmental pollution. The red tide at that stage almost once a day in 1950s, and also the Minamata disease caused by the water pollution. So this kind of serious problems directly led to a population loss in this area. So since 1970s, the Sept region started a way of revitalization, and they started from the ecological restoration. In this period, it's a government-led environment treatment, and a very important event is in 1917, they established the Ministry of the Environment in Japan and make laws and regulations to protect the Sept ecological environment, and they also set here as a national park to protect the landscape. So after almost 20 years efforts, the ecological environment becomes better, and their second proposal is the industry transformation. And this period was led by the Venice Corporation, who cooperated with the famous architect Tadao Ando to design this kind of landmark work to attract the tourism. Although at this stage, this is the Venice house which designed by the Tadao Ando. And although this time the community was treated as just a visitor, but it truly accumulated a certain popularity for Norshima Island. And luckily, the Venice Corporation was a company with dreams. What they want to do was not only making money by tickets, they want to revitalize the Norshima Island. They want to commute the whole island into an art site. So they want to start a cooperation with the local community. But at first, they were refused because the local community people, they don't trust in them. The turning point is the Art House project in 1998, which is the first project that integrates the local community into the participation. They get a chance to communicate and to participate in the construction of the world. And the most important is this work attracted a lot of people to here at that time. And this gives a sense of pride to the local community. And this is a very good starting point for their collaboration. And after then, they paid 10 years efforts to build another 6 projects on this island. And then a bridge was connected, bringing the local community and the developer and artist. So this is a very strong basement. They build a trust for the future. The 4th period is the Setouchi Triennial period is now from 2010 until this year's. And they founded a group that executive committee, and their participation group was also changed from single to multiplies. This means no matter you are organizations or the universities or local communities, as you get support from this executive community, you get a chance to realize your proposal in Naoshima Island or settle inland sea. So the local community took the chance. They do a lot of projects in this period, and you can see it in this year in the triennial. And one of the most famous one is the island kitchen, and I had been here. It was proposed by the community in Tershima, and they cooperated with a hotel in Tokyo and invited the designer Abe to change a vacant house into a restaurant. And I have a lunch here. It's very delicious restaurant, just too popular to find a seat. So now it is operated by the NPO, the Koebi group, and the local community people, which is a very successful case. So look, this is the 4 period of the transformation in Settle Inland Sea. And actually, this kind of cases not only happened in Settle Inland Sea in Japan, there are more places. And they show a common tendency is that now the participation group was changing from single to the diversified. This means in the future, the community can take more responsibility and also have the ability to do more the things. Looking back to the Naoshima success, actually what is the core attraction of Naoshima Island? Of course, it's still art, but what put this kind of external power art integrated to their local culture, I think is the community participation. Because only accepted and supported by the local people, this kind of outside power can be transformed into the local culture. And only in this way it has a long life. It won't disappear because maybe the Beninese company, they will leave this island. They will still in here because it already become a part of local people's life. So for my case, I just want to share my idea with everyone is that I think in Japan, if you want to revitalize a rural place in Japan, you need to pay attention and pay efforts on the community participation, and they won't let you down. Thank you very much.
Thank you, and that was a fabulous presentation. It was really well done. So these massive issues affecting urbanisation are affecting all of Asia, of course. So you gave us an insight, so thanks very much. It's a really fantastic presentation. The next presentation is from Hiro Yoshida, and it's talking about relationships between the systems of drainage from Kabata Spring waterworks